Welcome to this Endorian Life, a nostalgic Star Wars podcast from the Radio Meanwhile Network. My name is Steve Rudd.
I'm Nick Gunning, and we're taking apart the world of Star Wars Lego brick by brick.
Today, we are discussing Season 1, Episode 2 of Lego Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures, The Mines of Graballa, which first aired on Disney XD June 21st, 2016.
Yeah.
Disney XD. That's still, every time I see that, Disney XD, I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah. It's like the middle part of a haircut. You know what I mean? It's not quite. It's not quite there.
Part of it, like, oh, it almost worked.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the precursor to pretty much everything now.
Yeah.
Though. So, like,
yeah.
Whatever went wrong with Disney XD, whatever went right, has just continued.
Yeah, I don't really think anything went wrong with it so much as like everybody just switched to a streaming model. Like, I think the goal was, you have your like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse kind of Disney Channel, and then you have like your cool kids like 12-year-old Disney XD kind of channel.
Yeah, that was
which was a smart idea, but then streaming just kind of made all of that a moot point.
Well, yeah, just took everything and put it on. Yeah. It died, I guess, just from the change in
I think so
culture. Streaming culture.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of streaming, though, that is not how I watched this one. I actually checked out the Blu-ray that my library has, and I watched it on Blu-ray. I tried to do this last time, but somebody else had it checked out, so I had to wait my turn. But I gotta say, it's a really crisp, good picture. Because I watched the first one just on Star Wars Kids YouTube because they're streaming for free.
Yeah.
And I really could feel the Blu-ray of it. Like the colors were very sharp and it just had a crispness to it that I feel like a lot of the stuff we've watched hasn't. So the series looks really good in high def.
Yeah, this is right. I mean, we kind of talked about how like the difference between something done in like the Terrifying Tales, or I guess that was 20. That's about basically anything quality, done recently has this look to it. So like in the 2016, it almost feels like the Freemaker series is when they like, hey, we've decided on this is what Lego Star Wars is going to look like. And I think it's right. Like it just looks so good. The colors are right. Maybe some of the characters, like the Browns, I feel like Graballa kind of just like looked literally muddled and muddy and not quite textured enough. But like other characters look so good and
the sharp,
colorful.
The yellow of that jacket and everything really pops.
Yeah, it pops.
On the main kid there.
Yeah, on Rowan.
Well, I think we were talking about in the Yoda Chronicles how that show straddled the Lucasfilm and Disney era, right? Season 1 Lucasfilm, Season 2 Disney, and it's like they were still kind of working with what they had before, and where it feels like the Freemaker, I think, really is the first series that's fully Disney, like not Lucasfilm anymore. It's like the first fully Disney property. And I think you do see the Disney money. Like that doesn't always lead to quality, but I mean, I think as far as just the clarity of the picture and like the muscle put behind the show, I do think visually you can see that.
Yeah, they finally got it. Whatever studio they finally went with. It's almost like the original. You know what it reminds me of? Like, you remember original Pixar stuff? Just looked really like everything looked almost opaque-ish. Like,
yeah.
Like weird and stuff. And that's kind of what the original Lego stuff looked like, and they eventually just evolved into this.
Yeah, I think it definitely found its groove here.
Oh, totally. And it's wild. It's 10 years. 10 years and it still looks this good. It's incredible.
Does, yeah. As far as like clarity and sharpness, I don't think this looks notably different from Rebuild the Galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, they nailed it. I mean, it's whoever was like, this is it. They had a Steve Jobs guy going, if we change this, you're all fired. Like, he came in. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, this episode was written by James W. Bates, directed by Martin Skov. Cast members, we have Vanessa Lengies as Cordy, Gray DeLise as Nare, Matthew Wood as Roger, Nicholas Cantu as Rowan, Eugene Bird as Xander, Kevin Michael Richardson as Jabba. Our Star Wars link today is Dana Snyder. Dana Snyder voices Graballa the Hutt in this series, as well as Lego All-Stars and Terrifying Tales. But he also voiced Bragu in Star Trek Very Short Trek. But pertinent to our conversation in the previous episode, he most famously voiced Master Shake in the Adult Swim series Aqua Teen Hunger Force, a role he reprised in Yeet Uncensored, Robot Chicken, and C-Lab 2021.
Oh my gosh, the golden era of Adult Swim. Even the
Although I
ads.
have to
Remember the
say,
ads?
I never watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I feel like that's the only one that I never.
Really?
I don't think I think I've seen an episode of it. I mean, the characters were
Oh, no way.
ubiquitous, so like I know who they are, but
Oh yeah. Meatwad, Master Shake.
yes. But I do think, to your point, I think it's like the commercials that I
Fry.
know that mostly from. So I
Yeah.
never really got into it in the way that I did Sea Lab or Birdman or Space Ghost, obviously.
I mean, we'll never have that again. We'll never have that like that many bangers on one channel, right? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you think of today, you're like, oh yeah, like out there, people are like, I love Netflix because these
Right.
6 shows are on it, or I like Paramount Plus because all of Star Trek's on it, or
Yeah.
things like that. Like this was just one channel
Yeah.
where just everything was good. So pre-streaming, this channel just was like, dude, you could not sit down for a half an hour. You had to
Yeah.
sit down for 3 hours because every show,
Yeah.
one after another, was so good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy
It
to
was a
think
good
about.
time. It was a good time for sure.
It was a good time for sure. This was when it was worth it. I mean, like I hardly ever bought DVDs, but like I was buying, like C Lab on DVD. I was buying Aqua Teen Hunger Force on DVD, because
I
had
still
to
have
have
my
it.
original Birdman DVDs.
Yeah, Birdman. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Harvey
gosh.
Birdman, attorney at law.
Attorney at law. Love it. I love it so much.
Just love, like, so good.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, and Dana Snyder's voice is like, when I hear it, immediately I think of Master Shake. It's so iconic.
It's a
So
funny
iconic.
performance, like as Graballa. Like I really like, as I was watching the episode, I was right on the fence between like, is this too much? Like, is this too like tonally? Does this not fit? But by the end, I was like, no, I think it works. I think he's really finding like the right niche in the tone of this series to make that character work in a way that maybe straddles the line, but I don't think it ever quite goes over it so that it feels
he's like
corny.
an evil sarcastic, right? Where there's that aspect in it where he knows that they're fooling him.
Yeah.
And he still makes moves to like try to stop them, but just can't.
Yeah.
But like, he doesn't seem. This feels like what they should have done with Vader and Palpatine, where it's kind of a silly character, but still like he's not a complete moron, And so, I think it still works. And I feel like this, like I was thinking, are these his lines, or did they just kind of like give him some lines?
Yeah.
And he just started reading, and they were just like, that's the one. Let's just keep that, and like just have him.
There is
go.
a looseness to it. You're right. It does feel a little bit like somebody who's riffing and they're picking the best choices. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I thought this was pretty good. I think there was a moment in the middle that I was like, where is this going?
Yeah.
I think because I hung too much on the name Mines of Graballa.
Right.
And there's really not. I mean, they could have just named it anything. They could have, the gang meets Graballa or something, or
True.
I don't know, like, it didn't need to have the mines, and so like for me, it just like I think that's I was just like, all right, when are we gonna have the mines?
Yeah.
Like, when is the mines gonna happen? And
but I sort of get like by the end, I was kind of like, okay, we're setting up maybe a more primary antagonist in Graballa.
Yes.
Like maybe this is going to be more of the focus of the show. So I got that, but we should tell the people what the show's about. Yes. Are you ready for that?
Uber detailed plot of the Mines of Graballa.
Hit me.
We open to Nare training Rowan in the Force. The training leads him to sense that a piece of the Kyber Saber is in an asteroid field. Their plans are foiled, however, by Cordy, who won't let them leave. Nare and Cordy argue, and Rowan takes the chance to sneak off in a ship with Roger. They all finally realize Rowan and Roger are gone and blast off after them. Nare is getting frustrated, quietly, showing her true colors. Oof, this is the first time we start seeing that. Rowan finds the asteroid field and is drawn to one of the biggest rocks. They land and discover a mining operation. In a possessive trance, Rowan finds a kyber crystal and is immediately discovered by Ram and Bash, 2 Iktochi bounty hunters. I had to look that up.
Yeah, I like that specificity. Good for you.
Yeah, I didn't. Rowan disguises himself as an Ugnaught bounty hunter. Ram and Bash want them to meet their boss. Meanwhile, their boss, Graballa the Hutt, attempts to sell business ideas to his cousin, Jabba, but fails. Ram and Bash present Rowan and IG-89 because it's one number better than IG-88.
One better.
The math, it works, right?
One better.
They present them to Graballa, but he's already got a bounty hunter, sleepy old Dengar. But if they can prove they are better than Dengar, they will have his job. Instantly, Dengar kicks into action and the two fight. Dengar wins and drops back into a nap while Rowan is discovered as not a bounty hunter and accidentally drops his Kyber Saber crystal into Graballa's hands. Graballa wants more, but Rowan is way over his head. Before Rowan and Roger are dropped into a monster pit, Xander and Cordy distract Graballa while Nare infiltrates quietly, saving the boy and droid. The distraction works, and the bunch blast off in a tiny ship, but so does the crystal into the vacuum of space. It's lost. Graballa launches his fighters to pursue, but Nare uses the Force to crush them with asteroids, and they manage to escape. Rowan apologizes to everyone, especially Nare, for losing the crystal. Nare, in a fit of rage, actually fires upon their ship from hers, but it veers off when Rowan realizes he senses the crystal and recovers it. All is forgiven, Nare says, and no one is the wiser concerning her trigger finger. Back in the asteroid field, Graballa rallies his bounty hunters to find Kyber crystals. His plan is to capture Rowan so he can lead them to find the rest of the Kyber Saber crystals. Roll credits.
Woo. I'll tell you what my first takeaway from this was, Steve, and that was pure delight that we didn't have to mess with the Emperor and Vader. Yeah. I was really, like last episode, I was really banking on, okay, we're going to set them up as this, and then maybe we don't see them every week. And the fact that we didn't, and we had Graballa introduced as sort of that mid-level antagonist, which is kind of what we were saying last time. Like, we wish there was an in-between, so it wasn't just like these children facing off against the Emperor, and I think Graballa is such a good middleman there. So already I feel like a little bit more positive about the prospects of the show. I feel
like we've said this before too, where like a show you need to have that serious antagonist, and then you need to have like the renegade antagonist. And so like, like Graballa is the renegade antagonist, where like, I feel like maybe somewhere in the future, he wants the Kyber crystals, but might end up helping them at some point and hurting them at some point, right? Where you need to have that.
Well, remember, that's kind of like in the original Ewok show. That's at the start of that, we were thinking that was like Morag was going to be the big heavy, and the Dulocs were going to kind of be that like nuisance that, maybe they team up against Morag when things, align. It didn't really happen, but the few episodes where they did that, it was good. So I think it's kind of something similar here. Like Graballa is sort of maybe going to fill that Duloc-y kind of role.
He's
where
neutral,
it's like,
neutral player where he wants it, but he's not good. He's not necessarily evil. Like he does say he doesn't care about it. I don't care about the Empire. Like, and it's just like, well, there you go. Like, that's the perfect character. Somebody who's just like, I don't care about you. I don't care about the Empire. I just want money.
Yeah.
And it works.
I always find the Rogers annoying in the prequel trilogy. Like, it's just, it's so much with their slapstick and everything. Yeah. But I found this Roger, it kind of was working for me. Like, he was snarky and sardonic in a way that I thought kind of added humor to the show, rather than just being like, "Oops, I tripped and my arm fell off." I'm so whimsical. So I thought that this was just a little bit better in that regard.
There was that one part where he's like, where Rowan was just like, like, "Oh man, like, I can't believe, like, I got us all the way here," and Roger was like, "That's what you got from all of this?"
Yeah.
That was such a good line of like, funny. Is that what you got from all of this? Like, I just like lines like that are great. Rather, like you said, like the stupid slapsticky, just constant Roger, oh my arm, it does get, but he is like the perfect mix of like, oh, I got fooled into thinking there's a reactor leak, into having the mental capacity to come out with a good sarcastic line like that just was perfect, So, I mean, he works. He doesn't annoy me, so much. So, But I thought this was a decent episode. Besides losing it a little bit there with kind of being like, what's the direction that we're going here? It does pick back up again, right? And I think where I start to lose it is the scene that kind of copies episode 2's droid factory, where I was just like, this feels very Droid Factory. Like, oh, we're on the conveyor and here we go and everything's happening. And I'm gonna die, and then somebody saves me at the last minute, like things like that. Just I was just like, ugh, it felt too much
Yeah,
like that, and it's just like,
I could
why
see
would you
that.
nod back to the weakest point in
Yeah.
Star Wars
Well,
history?
remember, but they seem to keep revisiting that because remember in one of the Young Jedi Adventures, one of the Life Day specials, it was the same kind of thing. The Life Day orb got away, and then it was the whole conveyor belt
Oh,
sequence and
that's
everything. So
right.
it's like
Yeah,
they do kind of keep
they
going back to
keep
that. Well,
doing that.
I felt a little bit like okay, they're going to try to go and like the Emperor and like our antagonists are trying to find all these crystals, very reminiscent of what we were told the plot for the Yoda Chronicles was going to be, that it was like the Emperor and Vader versus Luke and gang trying to find the holocrons. So it's kind of samey in that regard, but I really don't mind it because they didn't really do that in the previous series, and this just feels like it plays a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. The last episode we kind of talked about the whole possession thing and like how's that
Right.
gonna work, right?
Yeah.
I was really hoping they wouldn't, kind of lean into that, and they really
Yeah.
did this episode.
Yeah.
That bothers me. I don't know who thought that that was a good idea. Like, oh, we should make it like he's being possessed
Yeah.
and uncontrolled. I feel like that doesn't jive with what the Force is. Where like it's a feeling like he would have a feeling like I feel like it's there
Yeah.
rather than just like and like
Yeah.
his eyes go blank and he uncontrollably foolishly jumps onto a conveyor. Like that bothers me, right? Because
Yeah.
Luke would be like, oh, I
Yeah.
sense or I feel that my friends are in danger, rather than like my friends, they're in danger, I must go. And he
Yeah.
starts like walking onto a ship like a zombie. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, that to me, and maybe that
Well,
just runs with the kids better, you know?
yeah. I feel like with that, like I think those are all
Hmm.
valid points. I think that maybe there's going to be a payoff to that. I'm hoping. I think a good payoff
No,
could
maybe, yeah.
retroactively like make that feel a little better. If there's something that we learn, oh, this thing is actually what's controlling him, or oh, he has this thing that's pulling him to something.
Hmm.
You know, it kind of reminded me, and I know we're not supposed to talk about The Last Jedi on this podcast, but
How
in
dare
The
you?
Last Jedi, where Luke is he's trying to train Rey and they're like in a trance or something, and
Hmm.
she sees this dark side imagery and just like goes right towards it, and he's like, no, stop, and like pulls her back and is like, you didn't even
Right.
hesitate, you just went right for it. That to me was one of the most intriguing elements of The Last Jedi, and of course like nothing
Mm,
came of that, but I do feel like maybe it's kind of a similar thing here where there's some like dark energy that's just sort of overriding. Like if he's already
yeah.
susceptible to that, you know, maybe that has a stronger pull.
We're
I don't know,
assuming it's
but
good. I mean, that's a great point of like, we're assuming it's good. We all
yeah,
assumed Nare was good, and she's not.
yeah,
So I think
right,
that's a good point of like, you know, what I can't remember what was it. Originally he got rid of the saber because of how powerful it was. And
right.
maybe that is part of I feel like maybe you're right with that. Maybe you're nailing it, too early. You
Well,
called it where like
I think
that's the
that's cool.
power.
I mean, I think that would
Yeah.
work if that's really what we're going for. So
We're assuming
who
the
knows?
saber made him more powerful. Maybe it
Yeah,
was the saber was controlling him and he
yeah,
realized, but that's just how the story was. Oh, the saber was
hmm,
too powerful. And it's just like, no, no, no. The saber controlled him and made him do things that he didn't want to
right.
do. And so
Right.
that kind
And
of,
also, I mean,
it
we only
works.
have Nare's version of what happened too. So who
Yeah.
knows if like she's actually
She's
representing it
lying. Yeah.
accurately. But honestly, I mean, you know, to jump to Yub Nubs, I guess,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel pretty good about this. It just feels like more of a show. It feels like, and
Yes.
we're only 2 episodes in, but
Yeah.
it does feel like there is a plan that they're working towards. And I think
Yes.
the second episode, you know, it shook things up a little bit. We got some new characters in there, but we
Hmm.
were still following the threads from the first episode. Structurally, to me, these 2 episodes go well together, and I believe that we're heading on a cohesive, like, narrative journey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
And
maybe I'm wrong, but
it's
so far it
episode
feels like
2.
maybe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
episode 2, and like I don't know what the modern Disney thing is, kind of like make 3 episodes setting introducing everyone and
yeah,
then start progressing the story, where this
yeah,
feels like we're getting new characters, the story
yeah,
is progressing, and now a whole new plot line has opened up that runs parallel, right? It's not
yeah.
like this is just a random plot line of,
Hmm.
2 guys sitting by a fire that every once in a while we reference, which is super
Yeah,
frustrating. You forget they're
yes. Oh
even
my
part of it.
gosh.
And
Ugh.
so like I think this works. I am enjoying this. I don't know. I'd give this like a 4. I'd give this a
Yeah,
solid
I agree.
4. It makes me want to come back for more. Now I'm interested in the whole Graballa plotline. I am
Yep.
not looking forward to Vader and Palpatine because they're coming back in episode 3 because they introduced
Probably.
Graballa.
Probably. Yeah.
So like they're coming back. But what about your Ichiwawa moment? Now we're on this 4 Yub Nub High.
Yeah. There's so when when
4
Rowan
Loco.
first goes missing, his sister is like, Rowan, and the brother is so upset about the C-Wing being stolen. And they see some dangerous thing. And she's like, Rowan at the same time. He's like, C-Wing, I mean Rowan.
I mean,
And
Rowan, right?
and
Right? Yeah.
that keeps coming back. Like that's a running gag. Like when they finally show up at Graballa's in the end to rescue them, he sees it and he's like, C-Wing. And she's like, no, we're here for Rowan.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
I thought that was very good as well.
I do have to say, like, anytime an Ewok is in the mix, I have to point it out. And Dengar was snuggling with an Ewok stuffy.
Yep.
And every time, like, they woke him up, he'd kind of throw it, and then it would come back, and he was just cuddled with it. It kind of looked like Wicket. So I was, that was like a good Easter egg for us anyway to see.
Yeah, I had to rewind like totally.
Well, it's funny too because we were just talking about Star Wars Resistance, I think, in the Sharknado episode. But in Resistance, there is I don't remember which character it is, but you see their room a lot, and there's just a stuffed Ewok like on a shelf or something. Yeah. So this is the little thing they keep coming back to as well. But I like both of those things. What about you?
That was for me. Yeah, it was Xander's humor as well. Like his joke at the very beginning when like at the same time they said different things.
Yeah.
Like, no, Xander, or no, no, Rowan. He was like, no, C-Wing. I mean, no, Rowan.
Well, they're setting up the dynamic well too, like what their focuses are and like what their quirks are. So yeah.
They are doing much better on like actual, like not corny jokes.
Yeah.
Like actual good jokes, like a solid, like that was funny,
Something that I thought was interesting. We've had the same writer and director for a lot of the Yoda Chronicles, and that same team did the first episode of this series. Mm-hmm. But the writer and director for this are new.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just like, let's tone down the corny and like.
Well, maybe they had sort of the veteran guys who'd been working in Star Wars Lego for a long time, like kind of kick off the show, and maybe it's sort of a passing of the baton situation. I hope so, but yeah, I thought writing was stronger overall. What about your Okavark moment?
So mine is, I mean, I really strongly dislike that Kyber crystal possession stuff. That hit me hard. I was like, oh man, that's maybe not the weakest, but based on what you said, maybe that'll turn around. Maybe that'll maybe that will be an Ichiwawa moment later when I realize, when it's when the twist happens. But I thought Nare shooting them, that to me was strange. Like I get her anger, but like Rowan still can find the Kyber crystals. So like, oh no, he loses the one when like he actually found it, and then you're gonna shoot him. Like I don't know. That to me was just like, I guess it makes it compelling to the story, but to me, I was just like, why did they even write that in there? Why not just make her mad? And then all of a sudden he is like, wait a minute, I found it. Actually shooting to me was just like you still don't want to just, kill him. Why would you want to kill him? Then you're screwed.
Or blow your cover. You know what I mean?
Or like blow your cover, yeah. I want I wonder if that's going to come back or something. Maybe not.
Maybe.
But they weren't even like, whoa, where'd those blaster bolts come from? Or explosions that happened behind us. So I don't know. What about you?
Honestly, I kind of struggled to find something that stood out to me as annoying, but the thing that I thought of was that Rowan, when he's with Graballa, kind of trips and the Kyber crystal like falls out, and that's how Graballa becomes aware of it, and then they just kind of like spill all of the information about it. These are powerful, the Emperor is going after it, and all this stuff. I just felt like that was a real clunky way to bring Graballa up to speed. Like it was, I just like let him already know, or let it be something Jabba's aware of, or something. But
you freely let him know, right?
Yeah,
like he wasn't even upside down yet over the pit. Like that would have been like an upside down over the pit. Okay, now tell me everything.
Yeah,
that's
and I guess I mean it is a child. It's a child that we're dealing with, but I think his thought is like if Graballa knows that it could get him, it's dangerous because the Emperor is chasing it, then maybe he'll just let us all go. But that doesn't really make sense.
Well, he was just told by Nare in the previous episode to not tell anyone.
Yeah.
And then the very first thing he sees, he tells them.
Yeah. Which, again, it's a kid character, so maybe that's part of it. But that to me, I just was like, we could have handled that better. But
that's a very good point. Yeah. that could have been written
Overall,
better.
though, I do feel like I'm not when I had to watch this show, it wasn't like Yoda Chronicles where I was like, okay, here we go.
Is this the final episode?
I was genuinely I was genuinely curious to see where things were going.
Yeah, me too.
I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I agree.
I'm also excited about next time because we have a new Spider-Man movie coming out. So we were going to be discussing an episode of Spider-Man 67 called Phantom from the Depths of Time. But as promised, we're doing the episode that is reused footage from Rocket Robin Hood. So this is an episode. You can watch them both online, but this is an episode of Rocket Robin Hood where they literally just switched. They pulled off Rocket Robin Hood and put Spider-Man in his place and changed like nothing else. So I think it's going to be really fun. I know, like after having like experienced Rocket Robin Hood, to see like Spider-Man thrown into that world, I think it's going to be really fun. And if we can twist their arms, we're hoping to cross over with previously on X-Men, because I feel like Eric or Hillary need to weigh in on this Marvel nonsense that we're talking about.
They need to be like, where are we?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't remember this from the Ditko years, but all right. Yeah.
When did they make this? Yeah. Surprising when this was made.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it. And I'll share with you, but I found some side-by-sides where they take the Rocket Robin Hood footage and the Spider-Man footage and just put it next to each other. It's just so funny. Because it's like they were just like, erase Rocket Robin Hood, draw Spider-Man, the end. So it'll be fun.
Clip it. Put it up. Yep. That's it. They'll love it. Everyone will love it. Phantom from the Depths of Time. I can't wait.
And as we learned, I don't think Rocket Robin Hood had a huge following. So the odds of somebody, especially in the US, having seen it and recognized it was like slim to none. So, they got the animation in the can. Why not save a few bucks, I guess.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
We will get into that all next time.
Man, I cannot wait. I will see you then.
Okay.
This Endorian Life is brought to you by the Radio Meanwhile Network. Be sure to check out some of the other shows on the network, including 902 and Here We Go, and Previously on X-Men. Please rate, subscribe, and share these shows wherever you get your podcasts.